So as the birthing partner, it can be quite a lot of pressure. How do I support her? How do I help her to get into positions that are going to feel better for her? What sort of birthing tools can I help her to access? This is going to be your little cheat sheet. It's going to be your reference guide so that you have somewhere where you can come back to when you don't know how to support your birthing person in labor. So we're going to go over some movements, some postures, and some comfort measures techniques that you can utilize, ideally practicing them before labor begins so that your partner can have a supported, empowering, positive birthing experience. So the first posture that we're going to do, I'm going to get you to just completely lean into me. You're going to come here for a hug, and we're going to do some gentle rocking. Motion is lotion for labor, and so the more we move during our labor, the easier our baby's going to find it to navigate the pelvis. So come right into me. Over my shoulders, and you're just going to gently be rocking forward and back. In whatever way feels good for you. You can close your eyes, you can soften yourself right down. Really hang from my shoulders so that you can feel safe and supported. Okay, so the next one I want you to do is I actually want you to lean on my lap, and this way you can completely forward fold and allow baby to swing to the front of your belly. So we're encouraging a more optimal position for your baby.
Yes?
Yeah, totally. And again, we have access here to her back for some lovely massage. We might do our soft touch massage here. We might be listening to our meditations, saying those affirmations over our birthing person, helping them to feel safe and secure and that they're not on their own. So now I want you to turn around. We're going to ditch the ball altogether. And I want you to adopt a nice deep squat position. Getting into a deep squat position is going to encourage that external rotation of the femur, which encourages our babies to come down. So you're going to squat right down between my legs and just let me take all of your weight. Relax way back. And when we are able to take the birthing person's weight, they can just allow everything to soften and to relax and baby to come down in their own time. So you can soften here, allow the knees to fold out. You might just play around with doing an internal tilt of the pelvis, so sort of rocking the pelvis in and out, encouraging baby to come down and through. Okay, so that is a nice deep supported squat. So I want you to get into a lunging position. So you've got one leg in front on knee. And you are going to just be pulling out of this. I'm going to actually spread it out. So with the use of a rebozo and that kind of upward pull, you can really get into a nice deep wide stance so that you can take all of your birthing person's weight and they can rock and they can lean and you can really support that movement that they need to access. So forward leaning against a chair, or the wall, or your back of your hospital bed gives us lovely access to the lower back for applying things like counter pressure, sacral pressure, maybe some more massage techniques, the double hip squeeze, which is so effective. But equally, having your birthing person sit on a ball means they can move with those contractions and those waves as they come. So forward leaning, allowing baby to get into a good position, access to the back, and movement with the ball. So adopting a more asymmetrical, slightly, whether it's one leg up, one leg down, one leg to the side, creates space in that mid-pelvic region. So with that lovely leg elevation and that motion with the rocking backwards and forwards and having that partner support gives us a really lovely mobile connection piece for our labors. So again, feeling that support, again with a little bit of a height difference here because I am so short and Aoife's so tall. We might need to adopt a wider stance here just to accommodate that. And I'm going to have Aoife just lean into me and we're going to do some supported swaying. So just by leading and guiding the movement for the birthing person, you are taking them out of that right side of their brain. You are giving them permission to be in the primal part of their birthing brain, where they don't have to do any decision making. That's taken out of their hands, and they can just be in their bodies doing what their body is leading them to do. So now we're going to do an elevated kneeling lunge. This is a lovely one for me because I have access to Aoife's back as well, but she's also got that forward leaning lunge, encouraging baby's heaviest part, which is their back, to spin to the front and creating that asymmetrical space. So the asymmetry gives us space in the mid pelvis. So this is when we are anything from sort of 3 centimeters right up until 6 or 7 centimeters during our labor. So we're going to be rocking forward and back. And the longer you do these movements for, the softer the body becomes, the more likely we are that labor is just going to take over and unfold. You could add in here as another layer some nice vocalizations. So you're thinking about those soft horse lips. So, or some humming, or some ah. The more of those sort of low movements or low vocalizations that we make, it reminds our pelvic floors to just soften and relax. The higher pitched sounds, the squeaking and the shrieking, encourages everything to tighten up. So now, as we get closer to that birthing phase of labor, we want to be thinking about positions where we are opening up the outlet. So this is from sort of 7 centimeters to 10 centimeters as we're entering that transition phase of our labor. So we're encouraging internal rotation of the femurs, slightly external rotation of those ankles, also called the Kiko position, and encouraging that gentle rocking and back movement. You might also want to apply that sacral counter pressure here, which gives the birthing person something to push back against. Or a lovely one here is encouraging the sits bones to spread. So it's literally a hand on either sits bone, and you can push back against me, Aoife, as you are coming back, and it spreads those sits bones nice and wide, allowing space for baby to come through. So now we're going to do some supported internal and external rotation in a side lying position. This is a really nice one if you have medication on board, maybe you have pethidine in your earlier labor, but you want to keep that movement going, or a really fantastic position for pushing in, because we're still able to create that space for baby to come through, but perhaps you also have an epidural on board. So the birthing person is going to be relaxing on their left-hand side, and the partner is going to take the weight of that leg, and we're going to give a slight internal rotation to the femur, creating that space in the pelvic outlet. And then we're just going to add some movement to that. In and out. So I hope that gave you a little bit of structure, a little bit of something to come back to if you are unsure how you can support your partner when it comes to the birthing process. Here are some lovely movement ideas added with some little tidbits of information around comfort measures like counter pressure and massage techniques. I hope that you found this a really robust resource, and let me know whether you found it helpful.